Alright, so we're gonna bring some heat from Little Cop. Right there behind the Ferrothorn is hiding a Lil Baby Taylor. And we're also rocking the Blastoise for some rapid spin to help out the Volcarona and the Sash Taylor, right? Some support, and because I didn't want to use Drill on this team, they just didn't feel like it. So that Volk is bulky. It looks like it does a lot of work this game, but it actually gets pretty much walled by Tentacle this game, so it's pretty much useless, right? It only has Quiver Dance, Flamethrower, Bug Buzz, and Roost, and it has no special attack investment. It's all into HP and bulk, so it's pretty much gonna get walled. The Tentacle, we might be able to Quiver Dance up on the Tentacle, but I don't think. I think Scold might do too much. I guess you could. I'm not too sure, right? So I just didn't want to risk it this game because because I probably can Quiver Dance up on the Tentacle, but I just didn't do it, right? The other Pokemon on the team pretty much all get smashed by Tentacle. Everything gets smashed by Tentacle except for Coco, but you need to be worried about Scald switch-ins. You can't switch into a Scald, the Coco, because like it's physical. Scarf Wild Charge does a lot on his team. Just need to get rid of the Landers and Ferrothorn. So as long as you're not gonna have those without taking too much shit with Coco, there's a pretty good chance to win the game. But on his side, he has a lot of threats. He's got Tornadus. If it's U-turn or knockoff, that's going to prove very difficult to deal with. It's pretty much a free my team. I get 6-0'd by Omega Alakazam, right? Because nothing really switches in on a Psychic. Only Ferrothorn can get smashed by a Focus Blast. So if I can minimize, if I can get not get Focus Blast and try to pivot my way around Mega Alakazam, that'd be nice. And on his team there's also the Salamence, which by itself might be able to just Dragon Dance 1 and have everything with a C-sized Supersonic Sky Strike. Okay, so a lot of threats in his team, and so I'm just gonna start off with the Lil Baby Taylor, right? All the way from Little Cop, making break and knocking out the king of OU. Vandalus gets a lot of chip, but it's leftovers, so I can't stay in. I have Toxic as well, but I opt to keep my Halo out there, and because I deserve its focus session that way. Okay. So yeah, just right now is pretty much. I just need to figure out some way to deal with the Tentacle. It's not fun dealing with it right now. The only way my Blastoise has staying power in the game is pretty much I need to get a Wish and pass it on to the Blastoise. That's why the Clefable is Softball and Wish, Stealth Rock and Wing Blast. So those kind of 4 moves. Pretty much I want to pass off a Wish into the Blastoise and the Volcarona if need be, and sometimes people will go for the Toxic onto the Taylor rather than hitting it at the Sash, and sometimes you can actually switch it in and pass the Wish onto the Taylor and use the Sash that way, or you can Leech Seed something with Ferrothorn and pass that Leech Seed into Taylor because it does have Protect, you can get a lot of HP and reactivate the Focus Sasha that way if you have rocks on your side. So if you get hit by 25% chip, you can just Protect, and if you have Leech Seed on the opposing Pokemon, you can actually regain your Lil Baby up to full health and then the focus sash can be used again. Right here, pretty crucial turn, he doesn't go for the poke, which is definitely a choke, right? Because as long as he can get rid of the blast modes, pretty much, right, all of my Pokemon can get shipped by poison toxic spikes, right? My Coco and the Volcarona can, which are pretty much my 2 win conditions here if I ever want to set up my Volcarona on the Tentacle. But I try at this game, I was thinking I wouldn't, so looking back at it now, I definitely probably could have, I'm not sure. Okay, well, actually the reason why I didn't, now I'm realizing, is the acid spray on the opposing side, right? So the acid spray my Volcarona I can't really set up because a Scald to a -1 Volcarona would be doing too much damage. So I guess that's why I didn't set up my Volc now that I think about it. So pretty much my Volcarona has no chance of pretty much winning as long as the Tentacle is still around, right? If it was Z Psychium and I had max special attack, then pretty much my Volcarona would just need 1 Quiver Dance and be able to 6-0 by itself as long as rocks are up to chip down Salamence. But other than that, my Volcarona would be able to 6-0 the opposing team as long as they get quivered up and Z Psychium the Tentacle. But my Volcarona is bulky instead and pretty much can do nothing to the Tentacle. So pretty much my whole team gets walled by Tentacle except for my Coco, and I definitely can't switch it into either an Acid Spray or a Scald because I can't risk that, right? And I want to use my Ferrothorn to get some Leech Seed chip so I don't have to struggle with all of this crap. But it's very difficult because, right, the Tentacle might have the Liquid Ooze ability, and it probably does, and I just don't want to get chipped even more on my side by getting Liquid Ooze chipped. This is a pretty pivotal turn, right, because I've just dodged a Focus Blast from Zam with my Coco, and Landorus and Ferrothorn both haven't been knocked out yet, so this is a pretty lucky break for me. I can get a free U-turn, a wild charge or whatever, but pretty much it's very difficult to break with defensive core with Tentacle and Ferrothorn as long as Landorus is still alive, right? Because Landorus is still alive, he blocks my wild charge, right? So anyways, this is a free U-turn because I am Scarf and he's good and he scats that, he does that because of Ferrothorn. It's a nice chip, but I am also getting chipped on my side, and Coco doesn't actually have that much staying power in this game because all my moves take recoil except for U-turn, and I have a defog there. My Coco is also running defog as to pretty much to get a suicide defog off if I ever want to get a bulk sweep. That was the idea behind it, but it's not going to benefit me at all this game since I can easily just rapid spin the buff, right? So I double into Blastoise here because I just need to get some defensive momentum so I can hopefully do more damage. Right here I should probably double into Coco, but I got scared, I think, right? And I do double into Coco and Tentacle. And right here I'm seeing that I go for the wild charge just in case he's crazy and stays in Tentacle. And right here I don't want to keep lose the momentum. I double into Blastoise, he doubles into Landorus, and I pretty much want to act like threatening the Landorus. And right here I should definitely double back into Coco. You get the electric terrain to smash the Tentacle, but I don't. Right, I go for the Dark Pulse, heal damage, and it does nothing. So pretty much the whole team is walled, and at this point I pretty much have to start pivoting out, right? Now, this is a very delicate position because he can easily double into Sam at pretty much any point, or one of his offensive hitters, like even a Salamence can use Z if it has it, right, and do some major damage to my Fable or my Blastoise. There's nothing really I want to switch into Alakazam or Salamence or even Tornadus, right? Tornadus, if it has Taunt, then you should definitely bring it, but he's not opting to go for that kind of stuff, and he just keeps letting me play this Wish Pass to the Blastoise and Rapid Spin, right? But it's still a losing battle for me because pretty much he has so many Toxic Spikes, and I have so many wishes I can pass into the Blastoise. So right here, he does is do something smart, goes into Tornadus. Right here, gets rid of my leftovers, so reducing the staying power by Clefable, and he's also got the U-turn for momentum. So pretty much, as long as the Tornadus is in, I can do pretty much nothing to it, right? Because it has that regen, it will always heal off, and it's faster than my whole team except for Coco. Right, so this is a pretty crucial turn, right? I double into the Coco, predicting the Rapid Spin or the Toxic Spikes, so he wants to get rid of that as soon as possible, right? That's what Tentacle there's for. A little bit, but I get a Coco for pretty much free. Right, looking at his team, I recognize that now Bravebird can knock out the Landorus and the Ferrothorn, right? Because I don't think Tentacle can stay in, and as long as one of them dies, pretty much it opens the door for a lot more in this game for my people, right? And so luckily, he switches into Landorus, but that doesn't even kill, right? Kogan has a lot of like attack, right? It has 329 attack, but still, that Landorus is so hard-bodied with the leftovers recovery, and it only does 20%. So here it could easily double back into Salamence to get the Intimidate off, but it might be Moxie as well, so he might not want to. And if he has Rocky Helmet Tornadus, this would be a good switch in probably. But he would like to instead let it die. So right now I'm just like, yes, this is amazing. Pretty much everything dies into a wild charge now, right? So my Ferrothorn is 16, 4 with the wild charge 21, right? We left boost in terrain, so I just have to get terrain up and the Ferrothorn will die. So everything dies to a wild charge except for Sam, right? Right here, this is a demonic spell, right? It has sub This is a pretty precarious position, right? Now, I didn't calculate, but I'm pretty sure. +1 Z Supersonic Side Strike, right? Knocks out my Clefable, I'm pretty sure. And I need my Clefable. My Clefable is very important in this game to Wish Pass into Blastoise. And my Ferrothorn, I just throw it out because it really cannot do anything. It can't really get a Leech Seed off anything because I don't want it to get a Leech Seed off on Tentacle with the Liquid Fuse. Most likely, I didn't check. I never checked what ability it had because I didn't want to test the Liquid ability or their body. But now I have a full health Lil Baby, right? Because everything else on my team will die, right? And my Coco is very important, and I can't throw it out. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't even Salamence. It's not like HPIs. So the only thing that can actually deal with the Salamence is the Lil Baby here. So he's just like, whoa, what's going on? He's just like scared out of his mind. Endeavor down, and he has flying, right? So here I'll go for Protect. Right. I pretty much this last move is probably Earthquake, why you can't touch the Lil Baby after he wasted the Z move, the Z Sky. But here, just he's like kind of complaining about how I'm just wish passing and how he has more wish will run out of energy, and well, now I'm just like protecting, but this is pretty much like my best option because I want him to choke, right? I want him to choke and go into something else so I can get off some big damage, right? Because I'm not too worried about the salamence, right? Because it cannot set up on anything that's left, right? It could only set up on what did it set up on for? Oh, it set up on the Coco, right? Because it was locked in the grave road, right? And it had full health. The salamence had full health. So right now, I'm just endeavoring, hoping to choke into anything, so I can get some good chip off. Like Ferrothorn is like a prime candidate for the switch in, right? So I mean, if this the Ferrothorn at this point with 16 HP, 16% is basically a sack again, right? So I'm expecting him to double into it at any point. And okay, so I go for the endeavor here. Right, so I'm running out of endeavors here, so I'm actually like, my options are limited here into quick attacking at some point, right? So I do it here, right? So Lil Baby saved us from a salamence sweep, and its job here, it's pretty much done, right? It pretty much killed the Landorus, and it killed salamence, right? So I dealt with the Landorus in that it allowed Coco to really be useful in this game, right? Because if Landorus is still alive, that's a defensive Landorus, which pretty much walls my offensive Choice Scarf physical Coco, right? But they destroyed Salamence and the Landorus, and so Lil Baby really did its job, right? Throw it out to a knockoff, hoping for Endeavor, but he's smart, he just lets it die. That will kill my Lil Baby. And right now, I recognize that pretty much my Coco, no matter what, claims to kill, right? This turn I should maybe have doubled into Volcarona, right? Volcarona, so I didn't have to get chipped by Iron Barbs. I guess it wasn't thinking hard. Right here, I get the Recall and the Iron Barbs. Now, Alakazam here is definitely a choke. What you should throw out instead is probably the Tornadus, because Tornadus has a lot more HP, and the Alakazam outspeeds pretty much everything on my team and does a lot of damage, right? Because Tornadus can't pretty much knock out the Fable and my Blastoise, right? But Alakazam can pretty much do it by himself. He does a lot of damage, and with like Chip from Tentacle, Alakazam, and Tentacle Death, be able to finish the rest of the team off, right? But he sacks it to a Wild Charge, and Coco pretty much got of this game. Very game. Allows me to get a final Wild Charge and it survives with 1%. I'm not actually sure like what exact HP it had, right? Because I didn't check, but 1% the goat survived, right? So now it pretty much knocked out 3, knocked out the Ferrothorn, Tornadus, and the Alakazam. I pretty much got 3 for the price of 2 because I should have only knocked out Tornadus or the Tentacle, right? The Alakazam was pretty much free. That was a free sack on his part, and I'm pretty grateful for that. Right, now I'm actually pretty scared because I'm not actually sure like if I can even defeat this Tentacle, right? I've done so much work throwing out moves to get rid of everything, right? I've always kept doubling into Tentacle, but it's kept safe because it 6-0s my team, right? On matchup, it 6-0s my team, except for Coco. Like Coco doesn't have any staying power, it doesn't have Roost, and it has recoil attacks, right? And it has immunities and great immunities and Landorus. Pretty much gets walled by Ferrothorn as well, right? So at this point, I'm just trying to figure out a way to beat this Tentacle, and he's calling me a coward. A coward, right? Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Double the Blastoise, get the heal off. Blastoise, cool. Gonna see how much Dark Pulse does. Right, it's called a Wish Blast. Cowardly. But Dark Pulse has a good chance of flinch, and I do get it here. Not sure how much that matters because pretty much I win the game with Dark Pulsing, and here he starts talking. Right? So I'm just saying, like, I made every single play in this game, right? Alakazam is an offensive threat which I cannot switch into it at all, and it was pretty much never doubled in once. I think once, but that was the time where I had to pivot in my Ferrothorn and I didn't want to risk the Focus Blast hit, and I doubled into Coco and got lucky. Miss. I probably should have let Ferrothorn die in that case because Coco was very important, but I got lucky with dodge. But that was the only instance of actually him playing proactive, right? On this game, even though I'm pretty much playing with 4 Pokemon, right? I'm playing with the Blastoise, the Clefable, Ferrothorn, and Coco, but Ferrothorn got burned, so it didn't really do much, and pretty much I'm playing with 3 Pokemon, and I needed to double into Tentacle, because every time Tentacle was out, it pretty much never did anything or switched out, right? So I'm making doubles into my Coco, making it to forward the game, right? And so he's pretty much complaining, and I'm telling him that it's essentially a 6-0 matchup with Tentacle, because I cannot switch in my Coco into Tentacle, right? It's not a safe matchup, and at any time, right? Like, Alakazam can pretty much destroy Clefable, right? It 2-hit KOs Clefable, and there's essentially nothing I can switch into, right? Because my Ferrothorn is burned, and my Ferrothorn is burned, and it can keep getting chipped by a Psychic from Alakazam, and I can't even Leech Seed because that option is blocked by the Tentacle and Fuse, so I don't want to do that because that's extra chip for my Ferrothorn, and he's calling what I did cowardly, but pretty much, like, if you look at it, he has a matchup, like a 6-0 matchup against my team, and he's telling me I resort to Wish when I only use 8 of them, right? And even 8, right? So that's a lot of wishes, but at the end of the day, you can stop the Wish pass, right? You can stop the Wish pass by switching into Alakazam. A Psychic, nothing wants to switch in, like my Blastoise probably gets 2-hit KO'd because max speed, max special attack models, right? So my Blastoise doesn't want to switch in, nothing wants to switch in except for Ferrothorn. If you just keep chipping the Ferrothorn, well then I lose, because you probably don't want to risk the Focus Blast because you have such a great matchup. You have so many choices to pivot in onto a Ferrothorn, so it pretty much did nothing this game, right? Because it got burned, and you can even double the Tornadus in, right? And get up a knock, get rid of my leftovers, and that's some even more chip, right? So I'm just telling him he's a coward because he keeps complaining about his loss, and it's calling my tactics pretty much equivalent to Store when he doesn't realize that to beat Store that you have to be the one that's defensive, and pretty much this wasn't Store. The Store was much harder to break, but he just decided that Tentacle, the kingpin of his team was that he did not want to win. That's what he said by staying in okay, I Dark Poison Tentacle, and now I gotta do it, right? I gotta do it. I switch in the Volcarona, and I gotta show him the tech, right? So that's a bulky knock, there's nothing involved, right? And I Savage Spinner and knock out the Tentacle. So that just goes through the chat, right? Alright, okay. So he's calling me a coward. Coward tactics every time, right? And look at the timer, right? My timer never appears because I click like instantly, right? I know the play, right? He's like he's very annoying to play because he keeps thinking, and the kept thinking, and all he did was stay in with Tentacle and click buttons. I don't know why he was thinking so much. Right, I'm just telling him that he shouldn't complain when he got outplayed by pretty much 3 mons that could actually do anything. I got lucky with the burn of last ones. That definitely played a big role in survivability, because I didn't get poisoned or toxic. Right? As long as toxic spikes were on, I needed to switch in my last ones to get only one layer of poison, single poison, so that has some staying power. But burn allowed last ones to have a lot of staying power in this game. Right? So only 3 Pokemon. Using 3 Pokemon, I destroyed his team, and Lil Baby was really only there for like that support, the emergency prevention of sweeps from Salamence. So I was able to stop that. Right, and I'm telling him that pretty much he can double his Ferrothorn into my Blastoise and get off a nice Power Whip. But that one time opportunity that he was able to get off the Power Whip, he allowed me to get off the Aura Sphere. That was a choke for me, but pretty much I don't know how I defeat that Ferrothorn without my Volcarona, right? Because my Volcarona gets high-walled by Tentacle, and everything gets walled by Tentacle, and so I just risked it with the Aura Sphere, and it was a choke that Elite seeded the Blastoise, right? And he's calling me stupid with the Taylor Endeavor, right? Oh my gosh, like, I'm bringing all this heat, and I got being called a coward for bringing this and playing the way I did, which was to win. And it's insulting my Lil Baby for being in Little Club. And here, I'm just telling him it was pretty much a 5-6. This walk can literally do nothing. Live, right? Or these coward tactics, using Wish, Stall, using Stall, right? And to beat Stall, you have to be the one that's playing proactively. Right, so I really don't understand what he's talking about. Right, I'm telling the 6-0 matchup with Tentacle, and he's telling me that Blastoise walled everything except for Tentacle, right? Now Blastoise does beat pretty much everything on his team except for maybe Salamence, right? But Blastoise doesn't switch into anything as well, right? It doesn't switch into Ferrothorn, it doesn't switch into Landorus, it doesn't switch into Tornadus, Alakazam, or Salamence, right? So, right, so that's Blastoise does 1v1, but it can't beat everything, and especially not on the Switch, because it gets hit way too hard and gets probably to hit carried by everything, because it is a right, Salamence got defeated by cowardly Taylor, but my Taylor, my nature is brave, so I don't know what he's talking about, right? So my Lil Baby right here, that's brave. He's brave, right? So I don't know what he's talking about with cowardly, and pretty much I took all the risk in his name. He never doubled, so he's the actual coward. So, but I get caught the coward store. So he's pretty salty about that. So I'll chalk that up to a victory. That's another win for Gunner and Lil Baby, right? And that's a 3-0 smashing.